This past weekend in Tampa, Florida, the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit took a dramatic turn, one that no one in attendance could have predicted. What was expected to be a weekend of celebration and unity quickly transformed into something far more turbulent. Instead of the usual MAGA unity, frustration and anger filled the air, this time aimed not at political opponents, but at the Trump administration itself. The crowd, once known for its unwavering support, now buzzed with discontent and skepticism. The spark that ignited this unrest, the long-promised, now buried Jeffrey Epstein files. For many, this was the final straw in a series of disappointments. For years, Epstein's story symbolized elite corruption, and Trump's base expected his administration to finally expose the truth. The files represented a promise to hold the powerful accountable, a promise that now seemed broken. But at the summit, the mood was tense. Attendees whispered among themselves, their faces etched with worry and disbelief. Attendees demanded answers. Why were the Epstein files suddenly being dismissed by those they trusted? Why was the truth, once so close, now slipping away? The issue dominated every conversation, from the main stage to breakout sessions. Even casual hallway chats turned into heated debates about transparency and trust. The base felt let down, believing the key to draining the swamp was being hidden by their own team. The sense of disappointment was palpable, as if a shared dream had suddenly slipped out of reach. Instead of celebration, the summit became a call for accountability. Attendees demanded that promises be kept, and that the truth be brought to light no matter how uncomfortable. The sense of betrayal was unmistakable. For many, it was a turning point. A moment when loyalty collided with principle. The MAGA movement faced a new internal crisis, one that would test its unity, its values, and its future direction. As public frustration reached a boiling point, Donald Trump finally broke his silence on the Epstein files. But instead of a press conference or a detailed statement, he chose to address the controversy on Truth Social, his own social media platform, with a brief and dismissive post that left many unsatisfied. In his post, Trump questioned why his supporters cared so much about the files, suggesting the entire situation was nothing more than a political hit job, orchestrated by his enemies to damage his reputation and distract from other issues. The response from his base was swift and intense. Outrage erupted across social media and at rallies. Supporters who had stood by him through countless controversies now demanded transparency, not more deflection or blame shifting. Trump's public defense of Attorney General Pam Bondi, who had just closed the case without further investigation, only fueled the anger and suspicion among his followers. Many saw Bondi's actions as a blatant attempt to block the truth, and Trump's praise for her felt like a slap in the face to those demanding answers and accountability. Even some of Trump's most loyal allies and political commentators began to call him out, saying he was out of touch with the concerns of his own supporters. Instead of calming the storm, Trump's words and actions only deepened the divide, creating a rift that seemed to grow wider with every passing day. For the first time, many longtime supporters found themselves questioning their loyalty and at odds with their leader. The rift within his base was undeniable, and the fallout was just beginning. The MAGA split crystallized around two figures, Attorney General Pam Bondi and media firebrand Dan Bongino. Bondi's memo declared the Epstein case closed, no client list, no blackmail evidence. Bongino and FBI Director Kash Patel, meanwhile, had fueled hopes of explosive revelations. At the summit, the crowd was asked, Bondi or Bongino? The answer was a thunderous, Bongino. The base rejected the official line, siding with those promising the truth. Patel, caught in the middle, now serves under an administration downplaying the case he hyped. Rumors swirl, tensions rise. The base's trust shifted away from the administration. The crisis of trust was now public and raw. For Trump's supporters, this wasn't just a policy dispute. It was a broken promise at the movement's core. Trump was supposed to expose the corrupt elite, with the Epstein case as the ultimate test. Bondi's sudden reversal felt like a bait and switch. Calls for a real investigation grew louder, with figures like Steve Bannon demanding a special counsel. Others wanted a full, televised inquiry. The base felt used, energized for a cause, then told to move on. They believed they were promised a revolution, but got a press release instead. The sense of betrayal ran deep. This wasn't fading away. The movement was at a crossroads. The Epstein files have triggered the first true grassroots rebellion within MAGA. For years, the movement has prided itself on unity and unwavering support for its leader, but this moment marks a dramatic shift. The revelations have ignited a firestorm of debate and suspicion, fracturing what once seemed like an unbreakable coalition. Trump's word was once gospel, but now, thousands openly defy him on this issue. The sense of betrayal is palpable, as supporters who once marched in lockstep now question his silence and demand answers. The movement's internal debates have spilled into the public eye, exposing deep rifts. The base's loyalty has limits, especially when a core promise is broken. Many feel that the pursuit of truth and justice was a foundational pledge, and the lack of action is seen as a direct violation of that trust. Disappointment and frustration are spreading rapidly. The future of the movement hangs in the balance. With every passing day, uncertainty grows, and the stakes become higher. The leadership faces mounting pressure to address the concerns of its most passionate supporters. If Trump ignores their demands, the rift could become permanent. The possibility of a lasting split is no longer unthinkable, as more voices call for accountability and transparency. The call for truth about Epstein is now central to the movement's identity. What began as a single issue has evolved into a rallying cry, uniting some and dividing others, but refusing to be silenced. Tampa revealed a movement no longer in lockstep. The event exposed the raw emotions and conflicting loyalties simmering beneath the surface, as supporters grappled with difficult questions. The White House projects unity, but the base is restless. Behind the scenes, anxiety and doubt are growing, challenging the image of solidarity that leaders try to maintain. How Trump responds will define his legacy and the future of MAGA. His next move could either heal the divide or deepen it, setting the course for what comes next. The divide is real, and it's not going away. The movement stands at a crossroads, facing a test unlike any before.